So in this video, I'm going to be talking about Emma Grede. She's currently on a campaign run, right? And I always talk about the importance of your campaign brand that really allows you to showcase your personal brand and your business brand simultaneously. And Emma does it fantastically. But what I'm going to cover in particular is sort of the way that she has boldly developed a contrarian brand in a way that suits her brand in its entirety, and that has allowed her to document and showcase her true self as someone who speaks the truth, who says things that people may not be willing to say or a bit scared to say. And she's very much true to herself when it comes down to speaking about the things that matter to her the most. So with this, I'm going to share my screen actually and just go through a clip for those who aren't familiar with Emma Grede. So let me just share my screen and we can get straight into this.
I saw you say you're a max 3-hour mom, and that sparked a conversation.
Didn't it spark a debate? I mean, listen, I want to be really honest about this. I spend all my time working, and I'm a mum of 4. I think that I am a core memory mum. I'm not going to walk it back. Like, I'm somebody that really, really cares about the big things, the big moments, Christmas, Thanksgiving. But let's be honest, if I've been at work all week, Monday through Friday, and I'm with my kids all morning on a Saturday, there's time that I need for me. And I say things that a lot of people think. I think that most mums, after playing with their kids and taking their kids to the birthday parties and getting up on a Saturday and going through their house and running their errands, are exhausted. So I'm just being honest.
Any husband who's married, like I am, like Envy is, we have 4 daughters, we understand exactly what you mean.
No way.
We know exactly what our wives need breaks.
Right.
Yes, they do.
All women need breaks.
Yes.
And what I want to do is destigmatize the idea of what it means to be a mother who works. And at the end of the day, it's like, if I'm good, the whole family's good. But that it takes a village.
Okay. So, that comment alone ruffled a lot of feathers, right? There were so many sort of comments and different views, opposing views at that, talking about the idea of what an actual 3-hour mom consists of, and is that even a thing? And, for this video, I'm not getting involved in women's business. I know some people may watch this video and say, why am I getting involved in women's business? But I assure you that's not the case. I'm literally looking at it from a branding perspective, because what some people may not realize, right, is that everything that she has said, and there's been other sort of topics that she's covered as well. She's covered the idea of, people not being in the workplace or deciding to work from home more than working in the office is career suicide in that sense. And there's been other sort of things regarding the idea that work-life balance doesn't exist. It doesn't, it's not something that you need to focus on if you're looking to build an actual revenue generating business, a 8 figure business, right? A billionaire brand, as she calls it. So there's loads of things that she talks about a lot through her content and the way that she showcases her themes and her messaging as well. And, we need to look at it for what it really is, because it is brand strategy at its finest, right? And, not every brand needs to be depicted as something that is all positive and optimistic and all those sort of things, right? Sometimes you need to develop a contrarian brand, right? Which is a brand that really goes against the grain. You talk about the things that is important for people to hear. They may not like it, they may not want to hear it, they may feel a bit triggered when you say it, but ultimately it's the most impactful thing that you can share that can change someone's life, right? That can change the way that they navigate, or they change their behavior with the way they go about certain things. And when she talks about the idea of the 3-hour work mum scenario, right, that alone had a lot of people talking about it, right? And it just goes to show that with her headlines, they're polarizing. They're things that, people may think, but they would never outwardly say. And with her brand, she's positioned herself as someone that is, whether you like it or not, I'm going to be the one that is going to say it, because there has to be more people that are willing to outwardly say the things that people want to hear, but they may not say outwardly, compared to those who just effectively they want to be quiet about the whole situation rather than dealing with the actual root cause of the situation as it stands. So whatever she says, right? And it's something that you need to bear in mind, especially when you are in the process of building your brand. You need to consider the things that you say, right? And it's not like you purposely have to say things to trigger a response, but they have to be things that are naturally aligned with you. They're naturally true with your experiences and your story, right? And with Emma Grede, her story has been focused on the idea of what she's been able to overcome throughout her life. In all her various interviews, she speaks very boldly and candidly about her previous experiences, having no money in the process of growing up, right? And she talks about the whole transformational experience of how she got from A to B, right? How she went from a sort of upbringing where there wasn't much money coming in to now being in a position of having a $1 billion brand, right? That journey is what is important for the idea of building your brand. Because when it comes down to it, your brand is a representation of yourself, but also a representation of the journey. I talk about it in all my videos. You go from that A to B aspect of where you were, right, to where you are. And then you can even take it further to talk about where you were to where you are to where you want to be. And I done a video about that, speaking about the past, present, and future of building your brand. And that all aligns because you are able to then present your story and showcase it in such a way where people will naturally gravitate towards your story, and it always aligns with people being able to resonate with you, right? And they're able to find it relevant. So not only is it something that people can align with, I feel like, you know what, if you can do it, I can do it too. But the way that she speaks, she reinforces the importance of all the things that you need to learn within your journey of being able to get from A to B. And she showcases it through her content. And the sort of campaign has been quite interesting to see, to be fair, because, you know, you have to be willing to say things that people aren't willing to say. And I can relate to that a bit. I got a bit of stick when I said in one of my videos that I don't believe in burnout. And the response was a bit crazy, to be fair. I thought it was a bit far-fetched. But my take on it was that, you know, when you are looking to build a life on your terms, burnout is designed on the idea that whatever you are doing does not align with what you are looking to do in the future. All the things I'm doing regarding building my brand, building a 7-figure brand, right? Building my agency, all those things align with the things that I love to do, the things that I talk about every single day, right? The fact that I'm able to upload one piece of content every single day, it shows my level of not only dedication and commitment, but my love for everything involved in branding, marketing, and PR. Is all the things that literally align with me and who I am, right? So that's why I talk about it all the time, and I love it. It aligns with me, and I can never get sick and tired of talking about it. And that's what I talk about. But then what Emma does really well in terms of all the things that she said regarding the 3-hour work mum aspect, or the idea of, you know, working from home being career suicide, or the fact that there's no such thing as work-life balance in that sense. There are going to be people who ultimately disagree, right? And there'll be different reasons as to why they disagree. They may disagree because they feel that she is being somewhat how should I word it? How should I word it? They may feel that she's being somewhat picking sensitive areas or sensitive topics, and she's not being sort of polite about it, or she's kind of not, she's stepping on toes effectively for people. And I suppose with that, that is what a brand is in some cases, especially if it's a brand that is rooted from contrarian views that are things that a lot of people are not going to agree with because of the way that they were brought up, or a certain upbringing, or just what they know. But when you stand on business as she has done, and you double down and you repeat the same messaging, the same content, the same context of everything throughout all of your channels, all of your podcasts, interviews, all those things, then it just goes to show that when you are someone that believes in their brand that much and you have seen how effective it has been for you based on you doing these said things, you need to speak to your tribe and your particular audience, right? And respectfully, regarding all those topics as well, you can have all the different ideas of how offended you are based on the topic, but it will be a thing where there will be a set few people who will gravitate towards that message, right? There will be the said women who understand exactly what she means when it comes down to the idea of the 3 hour work mum, right? There will be particular people who understand that it makes perfect sense as why you need to be in the office, because if you are not visible in the sense of that, then you are not in a position where people are going to bear you in mind for any opportunities, or they're not going to see you as someone who is a grafter and willing to get their hands dirty for the sake of what needs to be done for the company per se, right? If we're looking at it from the work-life balance aspect or the working from home aspect, all the things that she says, right, are things that are going to be polarizing and they're going to be contrarian, but it will align with the right person, right? And that is what you need to think about when it comes down to your level of branding. Your brand isn't meant for everyone. Your brand is not designed to appease everyone, right? You are not in a position to be a people pleaser for your brand. Your brand is your responsibility to amplify all the things that make you uniquely you. And if it comes down to your experiences being that, you cannot disregard your experiences to appease the experiences of others. It doesn't make sense. That's not how a brand is built. And when you look at the way that Emma has gone through the process of really talking through the journey of what she's been able to do, whilst talking about the lessons that she's learned throughout doing it, all of it aligns, and it all aligns and is formalized based on her brand, based on what makes her unique in that sense. And in that sense, it's more a case of you get it or you don't, right? The same way I've been on YouTube literally over 100 days telling everyone they need to build their personal brand right now because it's important, because there will be a time when it becomes a thing where it's a matter of urgency. Right now, it cannot be considered as a nice to have, because when it comes down to the end result where everyone else has built a brand around them but you'll be left behind. I've been saying this from when I started doing this YouTube thing. Whether you listen is a whole nother story and a whole nother conversation for another day. I talk about the personal branding deadline, the 30th of November 2027, right? I'll talk about that alongside my phases brand authority system. You listen to my content enough times, you'll realize more often than not, I'm saying the exact same things, right? I'm saying the exact same things, and I'm using repetition, because I always say repetition is a superpower. And that's the same way Emma Grede has been incorporating the element of repetition through all of the opportunities she's had through her press feed and publication features, as well as her podcast opportunities. She's been saying the same thing because she's doubling down and standing on business to say that this is her belief system. And effectively, it's whether you like it or you don't, really and truly. You know what I mean? So with that, I think that's it for this video, to be fair. I personally feel that her brand is an epic brand with the way that she doubles down, and she knows exactly who she's talking to. Every podcast feature where she's not talking to everyone. She's talking to a particular type of woman in mind, a woman that is involved in the idea of business, that's looking to scale, but is also looking to be a mother as well, and be in a position of having a family, but running a business, a successful business like that. That is her ICP in that sense. That is her target audience in terms of those people who gravitate towards her the most. And those who won't are also helping her because they are outraged by the sort of positioning or the stance that she's taking, that they naturally cannot help but to speak on it. And before I even end this video, that's where you need to kind of figure out, where are you best placed within building your brand? Because ultimately there's going to be people that like you off of the back of what you have to say, based on your pillars, based on the things that you find to be true to yourself. And there's going to be people who dislike you because they feel that you are that way inclined, or they don't particularly feel that you are speaking from whatever good place that they may feel. It doesn't matter. It's here nor there, whatever sort of situation is. You need to be comfortable enough to realize that when building a brand, there's going to be people that like you and people that dislike you. And through that, you then realize that there's power in both, because the ones who dislike you will still talk about you and share your content to then gravitate towards those people who do like you, and then will amplify your reach. So with that, I would say if you're going to build a brand, build on it and do not be scared to have opposing views to what is actually there. Everyone in this world, if you have a brand, your brand needs to have a common threat, right? Your brand needs to have a common threat towards you and whoever is part of your tribe and part of your ecosystem. And with Emma, from what I can gather anyway, her actual sort of enemy in that sense of her brand is mediocrity. Mediocrity as a woman that is looking to navigate in business and also as a mother. And for her, that being the enemy is what she is attacking, the idea that you can do both, but you need to work for it. And if you are not willing to work for it, then you are not part of her ecosystem or part of her tribe as a result. So that's what I believe. I believe if you want to build a brand that makes sense, a revenue generating brand like that, you need to have a common enemy, right? You need to have a common enemy. You need to have your core themes and messages. You need to have your transformation story from A to B, right? And you also need to have those views and those sort of comments and those headline points that make people think. Whether they think about you negatively or positively is neither here nor there, but it's something that needs to be innate with you and something that you literally will unalive yourself on the hill, right? Literally, you unalive yourself on the hill because you are committed to the idea of what this particular thing is and how it can benefit everyone around you off the back that it has done so much for you as well. So I would say look at Emma Grede's brand as a case study of what it means to be someone who is relentlessly themselves, and they're willing to stand on business and not let anyone put them in a position where they need to apologize for being themselves. And I think that brand is a brand that will last forever because that brand is ultimately you. And with it being synonymous with you and your brand being synonymous with yourself as a personal brand at that, that is what then leads to the opportunities. And that's what allows people to gravitate towards you. The right people will, the wrong people won't. And that's just the way that the game goes, right? So that's it for this video. I hope this video was useful, and please make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to get more videos like this as well, let me know in the comments and I'll be more than happy to have a look through as well. But on that note, peace out, look after yourself, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Peace out.